sometimes we have forgotten the importance that the Orthodox Church places on the godparent. So I'm going to use an example. Certainly for young men, and I would imagine too for young women also, all right? One of the most important things that they can have in their lives is a mentor. Now, fortunately, my dad was an exceptional mentor to me because he knew the proper balance of rewarding me when I did something good and then correcting me when I did something stupid. All right? So my dad had that wonderful balance. And he mentored me in many of the skills that I was going to need when I went forward into life. But my mentorship did not stop there. I have been graced by God to have mentors in my business life. So when I was in the service, a lieutenant colonel that I can remember specifically, who was a great mentor to me, very tough at times, but he gave me the leadership skills that I needed that I didn't have when I was young. And then when I worked for some of the defense contractors, I had an excellent mentor, and he taught me many things about how business is run in the military. And then when I went to General Motors, I had another mentor, and he showed me the ropes of how business is done in a commercial setting. Because these are all different avenues and different aspects of life. So my dad imparted upon me the moral characteristics and the ethical basis so that I could live now a life in Christ. And then those mentors in my business life, or the military specifically, gave me the leadership skills that I needed so that I could go forward and I could lead and manage properly. And then industry gave me those skill sets that I needed so that I could manage the affairs of organizations. The church is an organization. It needs to be properly administered and managed. Now I want to relate that to godparenting. Without those mentors in my life, I do not believe that I would have ended up in the position that I am right now or throughout my life. I wouldn't have had the skills that I needed to go forth in life. And this is the same thing with a godparent. The reason for the godparent and why the godparent must be Orthodox. It doesn't matter what the parents are. The parents could be Jewish, the parents could be Muslim, the parents could be atheist. But the godparent must be Orthodox. Why? Because that godparent is the mentor for that child or children if he or she is going to have multiple. So in that sense, they are the ones who are responsible in the eyes of the Orthodox Church before God and before Jesus Christ, God, to account for their mentorship. So, for my mentors, for my father, and for the military and for business, if they didn't mentor me well, they're not going to jail. They don't get executed. All right. They're not good mentors. But it is different for a godparent. If a godparent fails in their duties to provide the proper moral, ethical, and spiritual guidance for their child, then they are accountable before God. So not only are they judged for themselves, but they are judged for the children that they have taken on. So for this reason, we have to treat godparenting extremely seriously because it can alter the salvation of our souls. Because just as Jesus Christ will ask me at second coming, what have you done with the priesthood that I gave to you? I am accountable for everything that happens to those that I've been asked to shepherd over. So I will be held accountable for that. As a godparent, you will be held accountable for those things that you do improperly or those things that you fail to do. So a godparent for our kids is that person that provides that guidance and spends time with them. If they're not here, they call them on the phone once a week, once every couple of weeks. How are you doing? Did you go to Sunday school? Do you like church? Why don't you like church? I didn't like church when I was a kid, but here's why I went. And teach them things. The presents that godparents give are not a Nintendo game. The presents that a godparent gives are those that are for his or her moral, spiritual, and ethical well-being. So we have to be careful about the gifts that we give them. Sometimes godparents don't even remember their godchildren. They don't remember the name dates that they gave them. They remember nothing. And now these kids grow up, and I ask kids, who are your godparents? I don't know. I don't know who they are. That is a terrible thing. That is a shameful and disgraceful thing for us, that our kids don't know who their godparents are because they don't have a relationship with them. So the reason I want to have a Godparent Sunday, and the reason why the Archdiocese of the Godparent Sunday, is to remind us of that awesome and fearful responsibility that we have taken on.